the top. Chapter 24. Who's talking here? For our next topic, we'll start with Mr. Cohen. Campaign finance reform and accountability has been a hot topic inside the Beltway for years, and you've talked on it extensively in ads and town halls. How do you respond to the accusations from your challenger and political action committees that your campaign has contracted social media influencers off the books? I'm glad you asked. Thomas Cohen began. While we haven't felt the need to address these silly speculations and would rather focus on our policies, there has been enough noise made by my opponent that casual observers may think there's something to it. I want to be clear. We do not pay social media personalities to promote us. While some may be paid by PACs, the majority of posts are simply young Americans that are drawn to our cause and understand that another 4 years of regressive policies will only damage their future. I also want to state that our campaign has kept immaculate records and been very careful in the way we use our funding to set the example of how we think campaign funds should be. While we are still waiting to see my opponent's records from their campaign last election, where there are questions about an over $2 million discrepancy, we are prepared to submit our financials for audit immediately. Oops, too far. Thank you. Walt Isaacson continued, shifting his view towards the other candidate. President Ridgway, your response? You know these accusations are getting old, the president began. We've said time and again that those records are subject to an audit and we won't be releasing them until the proper authorities have finished their review, as any responsible business person would tell you. Offering to just throw around your financials to prove a point doesn't make you a good deal breaker. It makes you an easy target. It goes to show you how inexperienced my tax and spend opponent is, unprepared for the world stage. Sorry guys, my cat's gone crazy. I'm assuming this, wait. Okay, I think we're changing the point of view here. I think. Miss Green, Forsetti began after the break. Call your next witness, please. I would like to call Mamir, Morgan announced. Oh, present, Mamir called out. The court looked around a bit before a few moved aside and Mamir was visible, ahead sitting on a chair beside Odin. I may require some assistance. Odin lifted Mamir and walked him to the witness stand, which formed itself to a pedestal to accommodate him. Mamir, Morgan said, would you please reiterate the same oath as Odin took? Do you need me to say it again for you? No, darling. I've got quite a good memory. Mamir recited the oath of truth and looked expectantly at Morgan. Mamir, can I call you Mim? Of course, I prefer it, actually, Mamir said with a smile. Morgan smiled and nodded to him. Forsetti had told him Mim would be a kind witness, but in grading herself with a comfortable nickname in connection would help things along. Ma'am, you were awake during the entire time that the other gods slept? I was. Turns out being nothing more than a head covered in blaming spices doesn't require much energy. Do you recall the conversation between Odin and Loki as they were planning their actions? I do. Was Odin's account accurate to what you remembered? It is an accurate account of what was discussed and planned. As the only other witness to what transpired during the long slumber, would you say that the plan was executed as laid out? Objection! Loki interjected. Foundation issues. We can't assume Mimir was able to observe what happened during that time. Upheld, Forseti agreed. Morgan, redirect. Mim, you were able to monitor events on Earth during this time? Not in the sense that Heimdall sees the other realms, or how Forseti can see through his pedestal. Through my connection to... I forgot my thing. Yggdrasil? Gained by living in its roots and drinking of its well for many years. I am able to sense what is going on in the 9 realms. I am able to know it as a memory and as surely as if I had seen it myself. Objection! Loki stood again. Speculation. We can't prove that Mimir doesn't have that ability, but it does mean he wasn't a direct witness to the events he claimed to have knowledge of. We may know the results, but not the intention or actions that lead to them. It's a good point, Loki. Give me a moment to confer with the smartest being to ever live to determine the path forward. Forseti turned to Mimir's pedestal. Do you think you are a credible witness and able to give accurate testimony? Yes. Great. Please continue. Forseti turned back towards Loki, who slumped in his seat a bit. So, Morgan resumed without missing a beat. Would you say that the plan was executed the way it was discussed in the meetings you witnessed? I wouldn't, Mimir began. It began without issue. Loki worked to gather writings and artifacts, which he stored away as Christianity continued to spread into the northern territories. We quietly influenced Leif Erikson to convert, who then spread the new religion to the upstart settlements in Vinland and Greenland. With Europe well converted and the western expansion cut off, the time of our followers was over within a Midgardian generation. The next phase, though, is where the difference came. The original plan was to distribute relics after a period of time to be discovered and to gain excitement in the historian circles. Loki was able to work against the Christians, to build distrust among the population, and build a core of followers to revive the old ways. Unfortunately, it was a flawed premise. What do you mean? Religion and myths are ephemeral. In our time, as people spread and encounter other people, their beliefs would merge and become something new. We expected the cycle to continue. As Christianity began to falter, we would make a resurgence with our original texts. We assumed the migration period would end and humanity would settle into its individual areas, where we would be able to convert a population back that would be able to sustain us again, albeit at a lesser quality. So, they were planning to leave some gods forgotten? Yes, for SETI would have been the highest of those left behind, but many lesser Acer, Veneer, and Giants were eliminated from the text as well. What happened that things went astray? Hey Panda, how are you doing? Yeah, we're starting the other book tomorrow. I'm assuming you read it. What is your opinions on it? Since you've read it. Midgar advanced in ways we weren't expecting. First with means of travel, then influence of art, and eventually their technology and communication abilities. Christianity, along with its brother religions, known as the Arabic religions, didn't burn out. It came at last that allowed it to be preserved and spread far beyond any that came before. With the travel and communications, it was able to continually reinforce itself far beyond its centers of influence in a way that Romans would have wept to see. Loki began to reintroduce our artifacts around 300 years later, and a scholar began to document our stories. It was slow to start, but Loki was able to take advantage of the growing media, and around 100 years ago, the stories were able to sustain the first of the Acer to reawaken. The timeline was much slower than we anticipated, and in a way we couldn't have predicted, but it eventually worked out. Oh, thanks for the lurk, I appreciate it. That's fine. I mean, I think the last book for sure I would say was kind of an adult book too. I mean, not like smutty or anything like that, but I think I have a warning thing that says like it's for 18 plus, but I need to figure out, because I was talking to him yesterday, the day before, or something like that, and he said that there's like triggers or whatever. So I don't know how to post that, how to post triggers yet. I need to figure out the best way to do that, just so that people are warned. Sorry, I just did that in the mic. So you loved it. All right. Are you like a normally like romance person or whatever? So, working with the Christians was part of Loki's mission? Morgan asked. It was. He was to give them information that would allow them to integrate the Norse more effectively. It allowed them to merge our holidays and some other parts of our history. Later, those similarities allow the modern humans to relate to and appreciate the Norse stories. Thank you, ma'am, Morgan said as she began to walk back to her seat. Loki stood and straightened his shirt. Last question, Morgan said just before crossing behind her desk. Would there have been any reason for Loki, who's now standing for some reason, to work with them before this plan began? No, Mimir said with a hint of confusion. Not that I could figure. Thank you, ma'am, she said as she took her chair and looked expectantly at Loki. She knew doing it twice was pushing it, but she couldn't help herself. No question, Loki stated, clearly off his game. Mimir, thank you for your testimony. You are released from your vow. Forseti said, as Odin came to collect the head, Forseti announced another break as it was lunch. While the gods milled around the food at the back of the hall, Morgan found him to discuss the case. Do the Valkyries usually hang around hearings? They like your bell lifts? Morgan asked. Whoops. Not normally. They're either here for their own entertainment or we're told to be here. Forseti had noticed the arrival of a few of the warrior maidens midway through Mimir's testimony. The only ones who could summon them are Odin and Farah. Maybe they're just here for entertainment? Morgan shrugged. Thrud, maybe. She enjoys a power battle. Mist and Kara, though, have never come to a hearing. He indicated towards the pair standing apart, one with wispy gray wings and the other with curly hair and wild eyes. Thrud, Morgan remembered, was Thor's daughter, and she stood talking with him over a tray of smoked pork. What about the other one? Morgan nodded towards the last Valkyrie that had shown up and still stood in the doorway observing the room. That's Sigrun. If she's here, I assume Farah requested her and is expecting something to happen. The question is which side might find themselves at the end of her spear. Guess we better make a good case, Morgan said as she walked towards the food. Let me get a drink here. Sorry, guys. Alright. For my last witness, Morgan started, I call Loki. A collective in hell rippled through the audience, giving Morgan an opportunity to gauge her audience. The seating has shifted subtly, with Odin and Frigg sitting on Morgan's side of the court, along with Balder, Nanna, Frey, and Farah. Loki's side of the court was thinning, but still contained Thor, Sif, Ran, and Hel. A few more Valkyrie had shown up and were scattered among the back rows of the chamber. Loki stood and made his way to the witness stand. One change to the oath, Forseti called before Morgan was able to begin. While Loki must swear to tell the truth and be forthcoming to his testimony, when his answer may incriminate himself, he cannot be compelled to answer. I understand this is a different procedure than we've used in the past, but is aligned with current law-speaking process in Midgard. Loki swore his oath and sat. Mr. Laffison, is the testimony we've heard so far here today accurate to your recollection of the events? Morgan asked. They are, but please call me Loki. Mr. Laffison, would you also agree that Odin and Mim were complete in their recollection of the planning details? Yes, I believe they were. Then why, Loki, did you fail to tell them that you had already delayed Ragnarok and were establishing yourself to take over another pantheon? Objection, Loki stuttered. Sustained, Morgan, redirect. Forseti looked to the audience and noticed the shift as everyone leaned forward just a bit. He had been unsure when Morgan's strategy had included accusations that would ultimately be stricken from the record, but trusted in her ability to build the drama and ultimately influence the outcome. Okay, Loki, did you ever inform the All-Father that you were already working to destroy the Norse pantheon when you brought this plan to him? Morgan, Forseti interrupted, establish your premise before casting these assertions. Sorry, excuse me. Fine, Morgan feigned annoyance and turned her back on the giant and Acer at the front of the court, staring over the heads of the audience for a moment, and she took a breath and observed the postures of those seated in the gallery. Mr. Laughinson, have you read the Christian texts? I have. Have you noticed the similarities in their stories and the history of the Norse gods? Every religion has overlap. They influence each other and grow from older tales. Your previous witness pointed out this as a part of our strategy. Loki was regaining confidence, and his tone became more relaxed. It is... What the heck just happened? I don't even know what that was at. Oh god, no, it wasn't that. I don't know what the freak I did. Was it there? I don't think it was that zoomed in. Maybe right there. Okay. Now where was I? It is interesting though that their earliest texts, which predate the earliest Norse texts, have so many stories that reflect the Norse tales, even though these religions were separated by many miles and years. Would you agree? I am not able to... Loki found himself unable to finish the sentence and stuttered. Let me help you. Morgan cut him off and walked closer. What sentence were you about to say? Understanding that you're answering this question and not the one that sentence would have answered. After some hesitation, Loki stared into the middle distance and said, I cannot answer that question without risking self-incrimination. Because you were going to say, I'm not able to answer that? When in fact, you could answer that and your vow won't allow you to tell a lie? Is that the issue? I cannot answer that question without risking self-incrimination. At this point, there was an audible shuffle of postures in the gallery as gods became more focused on the trail and the Valkyrie's wings began to flutter as if they were stretching. Loki, Morgan took a gentler tone as she could see her opponent's hesitation and nervousness. Did you have anything to do with those old Christian stories? I cannot answer. I know, Morgan cut him off. How about admitting to the gods in front of you, or to the god of judgment sitting beside you, that you created the Arabic religion after the last Ragnarok cycle to ensure your survival, when you ultimately collapsed the Norse pantheon? Objection. Withdrawn. Morgan raised her voice. perhaps you could tell us the story of Genesis and the Garden of Eden. Adam and Parley, Loki shouted, looking to Forseti. I'd like to parley. The audience was on their feet now and shouting towards the bench. Forseti banged his gavel, trying to restore order before rolling his eyes and raising his arms, silencing the hall. It took the assembled gods a moment to realize their screams were quieted, and a few instead switched to hand gestures to make their points to the judge. They also found themselves unable to approach the proceedings. Silence, Forseti called. There will be order. The giant Loki has called for a parley with his accuser, the human Morgan. We will meet in my chambers, and I will meditate. You are welcome to stay and have refreshments, but as long as you are in the walls of Glitnir, you will be unable to raise your voices above conversation. And my chambers will remain soundproof from the rest of the hall. And that was chapter 24. We are on the next chapter then. Whoops. Alright. So, we are on the last chapter, right? Yeah, we're on the last chapter. I have the actual physical book like right next to me. So, anyways, we basically just read, we read the trial basically for Loki and with the gods and stuff, and we have learned kind of, like, he hasn't exactly said, but we're kind of getting that, he was already working on the Christians before Odin sent him to go talk, I guess, like, well, not really talk, but ingrain his the Norse gods' stories into the Christianity or whatever. So that is, oh, I have giveaway on here. My bad. I should take that off, because I am not doing a giveaway right now. So anyways, that's what we read, and we'll start chapter 25. Ladies and gentlemen of our audience, both here and watching from home, Walt Isaacson smiled into the camera. Welcome back to this final debate between our leading presidential candidates. Many questions have been answered, and we're to the part of the night where our candidates will make their final pleas to the voters before they head to the polls next week. We'll start with Democratic candidate Thomas Cohen. Thank you, Walt. Mr. Cohen began. I want to reiterate that our campaign is committed to delivering a presidency that represents all Americans. We believe that America cannot move forward or reclaim a position of greatness without improving the lives of our people. Don't let my opponent rewrite history. How many more millennia must be activated to protest local elections? How many more people will give access to our greatest intelligence who go on to be arrested for corruption? I ask you to consider what this country stands for when you cast your vote. And I'll finish by promising that when I cast my vote, I will be thinking only of how I can serve America, not how it can serve me. Thank you, Mr. Cohen. Oh, thank you, Mr. Cohen. President Ridgway, your closing statement? Oops. Always scroll too much. Give me 1 second. Why is this not? Do y'all hear anything now? Let's see. Yeah, I think my mic was picking it up. All right, let me try this again. Well, I don't know what else to do. Maybe hold on. Let me try something else here. Oh, I totally forgot. So for book club, I had a puzzle that everybody can work on together. So if y'all want me to put that up again, I could totally do that. Yeah, I still don't hear anything. Darn it. Alright. Less than an hour had passed in Forsetti's office, and the parties were finalizing their agreement. Loki stared across the round table at Forsetti. You don't intend to punish me? If you hold up your end of the deal, the anger of your fellow gods will be punishment enough, Forsetti assured him. Well, I've certainly endured that before. Fine, you have a deal. Loki shook hands with Forsetti and Morgan before they moved to the door. Wait, before we go, I want to say, well done to your apprentice. I have no doubt much of this was orchestrated, but you aren't clever enough to trick me on your own, Forsetti. Well done, Morgan. I look forward to seeing what you do in your time among us. Thanks, Morgan smiled. If you do your part, that'll be a long time too. Once back in the hall of Glitnir, the three were greeted by a full gallery of observers, which appeared that nearly every god and Valkyrie had assembled, and the hall had added seating for them all, who were mostly on the side that had been Morgan's. Forsetti took his seat on the dais, with Loki and Morgan standing to the side. Acer, Vanir, Giant, and all other friends assembled. Loki has agreed to give an account of his actions to settle the investigation and will accept my judgment. He is still bound by his oath, but will swear to modify it to force the truth, even if it would be injurious to himself. To ensure Morgan's accusation as satisfied, she will continue questioning in order to clarify her case. Loki, do you accept the new oath and terms I've set forth? I do, Loki said, and took his seat on the stand again, looking to the floor. Forseti nodded to Morgan to continue. Loki, were you present during the events of the last Ragnarok? I was. A muffled gasp came from the crowd that Forseti had decided to leave under volume control for expediency. I survived the cycle by shapeshifting to a human called Leaf, and hid with the gods and human woman that survived the cycle. The end was rather well prophesied, so as the events drew near, I followed the Maldi of that cycle to their hiding spot and killed the real Leaf. I thought the All-Father of the last cycle hid the prophecies, Morgan clarified. What about the trigger warning? Sangi, I have a question. In the first chapter, Leif Erikson was an actual Leif Erikson? Am I getting that correctly? K. Wait, is that a yes or a no? What is K? That is an idea. I just always, I don't... Do you think it would be too spammy though? Because I have other automatic messages stuff. Yes. There was a real Leif Erikson, but Leif is the original human in Norse mythology. Yeah, okay, but at the beginning of the book, in the first chapter, was... Okay. But was Loki actually Leif Erikson in the first chapter? Doo-doo-doo. Ow. No, not the same. Okay. You can use any bot that gives automatic messages. You can use the first stream of the book to see it. Yeah, I could do that. He didn't exactly tell me what exactly the triggers are. He just said that there are some that people may be triggered. I mean, I could ask him. Yeah. Because I've been talking to him on Discord too, so... He did, Loki nodded, though not all that well. As Ragnarok began, he realized that there was no use hiding it anymore, allowing my army to acquire some of the info. I had another shapeshifter take my appearance and role while I hid. My arm thought I was trying to outsmart the prophecy. My army thought I was trying to outsmart the prophecy by going to help Finir. Okay, that's fine. Wait, there's other shapeshifters? So, you survived Ragnarok, but wasn't Leaf to begin a new cycle with his human woman companion? What happened next? When we re-emerged into the remade world, I was unable to produce human offspring with my bride. What was to be our firstborn emerged as a goat. She died in labor. Hold on. Hold on. So, he had a goat for a child? Sorry. Where did it go? I lost my spot. What other childs did he have? A snake, a wolf, a horse with 8 legs? Dude, what kind of dude is this to have some weird animals as kids? And how did the events after this lead to the world being repopulated? In your scheme to jump pantheons, Morgan asked kindly, knowing she had won and not wanting to rub his nose into it too much. Later, the reborn Odin and his brothers would visit Midgar. They carved the first people from trees and left them on their own. Once they had left, I befriended Ash and you and showed them how to survive in nature and how to become educated. They were little more than animals, and I knew I would need help getting them to become the people that could repopulate the realm as I had failed. I brought them an apple from the Garden of Eden, which they ate. They lived longer, became wise quickly, and went on to birth children and raise a small village. They knew nothing of the gods that had made them, and only remembered glimpsing one of them breathing life into them. I decided then to change the cycle. Was born out of his body? What? Like a seahorse? Alright, thanks, Panda. You know, this apple from the garden thing reminds me of like the fruit from the tree in the Christianity stuff, you know. Except for they're not like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it sounds like it. Yes. Hey, True, thanks for coming. Or being back, I guess. I think you got a gifted sub, by the way. You know, interesting, just saying. Interesting. A lot of people think it was an apple from the Garden of Eden, but it never really says. It just says fruit. What? Hold on. Okay, so he was a... Wait, why would he become a female horse instead of a male horse? Why did he choose to get pregnant too? You know, this sounds familiar. Odin's eight-legged horse. I thought Sangi did. My Streamlabs doesn't show up right now, so I can't even see anything. It's just a plain white page, so I tried restarting it and everything. That is so weird. Well, whatever floats his boat, you know? Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. I see now. Oh, I read that. Okay. I told them of an unnamed god, and even disguised myself as a grand form to occasionally guide them. I had always appeared to them as a talking serpent and continued to play both roles. I couldn't tell them my names. If Odin returned to the realm and they spoke of Loki, I would be caught. If they spoke of Leaf, the other gods would be alerted that something was off as well. I chose Lucifer. I've always been partial to L names. Whoops. Sorry, I just hit that again. Oh. Look at that. I didn't even realize that I'm already in Spoon's thing. So somebody must have raided him. Alright. There was silence in the hall while the gods tried to absorb what they had heard. Morgan let the news settle a moment before continuing. And then what happened? You're here. Something must have changed. Indeed. Loki looked up from the floor into her eyes, his face tired and regretful. I didn't understand the nature of gods then. As their children grew and generations spread, their worship of God gave an unexpected surprise. God showed up one day as if they had always been there, with that spot occupied. I was relegated to my other role as the serpent. Over the years, God began to distrust me, and I became a rival. What the heck? So God just appeared. So Loki became the serpent. Okay, now I see. By the time humans were able to write their beliefs down, I had been framed as their Satan. A silver-tongued trickster that causes trouble was a role I was born for, so I played along for millennia. This is the time that the Germanic religion began to spread as well, and as it made its way to the north, it evolved into what would become the Norse religion. I guess so. I mean, it's kind of funny though that like Loki just like became Satan kind of deal, you know? Hey, thanks, Sangi. Thanks for gifting the sub. Sangi's a big gifter. Thanks for the lurk, princess. I know that you're like in Spoons. I know you're in his stream modding and stuff like that. I was in Placedo, whatever his name is. So he must have raided over there. So, Panda, did your viewer attack work? I didn't see anything. Dude, I just found out, like, the viewer attack. I didn't even know. But the viewer attack, like, if you hit the goal that's up there in the corner, like, everybody can, like, start, like, just throwing random stuff at me. That happened, I think it was last week. Why is this swollen? Do you have, like, carpal tunnel kind of deal? Oh, Princess, I didn't get to reply to your message. Okay, so since you don't have triggers for, like, student-teacher relationships, there's a new book that just came out. I think I read it in, like, maybe a week or so. But, okay, are you familiar with, like, Frida McFadden? Arthritis? That sucks. No. Okay. She has become pretty popular the last... I feel like I've just started seeing her, like, recently, like, maybe the past few months. Panda, is that not working? I'm a little confused. Let me know if it's working or not. Anyways, oh, there it goes. Oh, dang. Oh my god. Right, Princess? Like, dang. Knock me and the dragon out. Oh my goodness, I seen a stream earlier where they had, like, Pokeballs that they threw at the it was a VTuber. And it was like 10 or 20 of them kind of deal. Anyways, so she became, like, Thanks, Princess. Tacos is a good choice, you know. Thanks for the redeems. I'm thinking about adding some more redeems, like the sound redeems. I don't know yet. Like, if y'all have suggestions, I'm always open to suggestions. Yes, I think Spoons came in and, like, he bred it or whatever, and so now it's not melting or whatever it was before, and the eyes are different. Yeah, there you go. Not a slimy drug addict anymore. What are you going to redeem next stream? I need to it got clean. I know. I gotta get my I'm going to get a camera so I could add the redeem for the notebook thing that I just got. So steak. Let me guess, Panda, does it have to do something with candy? So I'm waiting on... That's not a bad idea, but here's what I run into with that idea, Princess, from a list. That is a possibility. But I don't know how that would work with, like, if they choose a book, like, do we just... Now we're gonna see. I don't know how to turn. I need to turn that down some. Oh God. Now it looks mad. It has bushy brows. What in the world? I know. Is that like is that eyelashes on the bottom of the eye now? You love the dragon? I think it has. Yeah, it looks mad. That's how it looks. It looks like it has bushy brows and stuff. It's like the character from Naruto. So we stopped reading this one and read the one that's picked just for that day. That's a possibility, actually. Yeah, that could be. Now, would it be like past books that we've read, or would it be new books? Wait, why are you mad at Candy? What did Candy do? Yeah. So I would have to get I would have to get some new authors. I haven't talked to anybody yet. Permission on their books and stuff. Yeah, that's a possibility, like redeeming it once a day. Because I think you could do that. I think I'd do that for like the first or whatever. Like only one person can redeem it. I had to put the cooldown. I had to. Because, I was getting, like 10 redeems and I couldn't eat the candy. And I definitely couldn't eat it while talking or reading. Yeah, so I have to have their permission because of copyright issues. There's a lot of there's a lot of authors, especially like the bigger, it's usually more of like the bigger authors or whatever, because like I think what they do, and Sangi could confirm this, but I think they kind of like give a license to the publisher or whatever, or like the publisher has a license, and so that's kind of what it runs into, Now you could get permission from publishers. A lot of times the bigger publishers, they want you to kind of pay them a certain amount to use their stuff. It depends. What does it depend on? I think it's because it's on screen, and so like other people are watching, and so that's where it comes in, because those other people, Yeah, I've heard like other people trying to get like permission for publishers, and they were told that they had to like pay, it was like hundreds of dollars just to like read whatever book they wanted to. Yeah. So See, Sangi, he's also the publisher, so he gave permission for this book and the last book. So yeah. I actually, Sangi, with the short story, that would be very helpful actually. And then I could do that redeem. I didn't even think about short stories. Apparently, Sangi, some people do that. And they don't get in trouble. So I don't know, like, okay, so like a big streamer that we watch, a lot of us do, like, I've heard that he has streamed football games on his stream. What is complications? Poems is another idea because it's shorter and stuff. Oh, wait, before you go, Princess. I'm sorry, because I got sidetracked. Okay, so, no, don't, okay. Frida McFadden, she's like a newer author that is getting pretty popular. She does women fiction, but she also does psychological thrillers. So it's kind of similar to like what I recommended to you with the distorted perceptions. So, it just came out. It's called The Teacher. All right. I did the ARC read for it. Really, you should like read it. It's really good. There is, like I said, there is a trigger warrant. There is triggers of grooming and then the student and teacher relationship stuff. But okay, I'll message you because it just came out and it was really good. Like, my mind was blown after reading it. So, like, I'm still talking about it. So, and I read it like, I don't know, I finished it last week. Nerdy, how are you doing? Compliations? I don't know what that is, Sangi. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you're reading that series. Okay. Yeah, you have to read it afterwards then. Nerdy, I am waiting on my camera. I'm waiting on getting a camera. And then I will definitely have that going. See, my plan... Don't yell. Wait, did I yell at you? I'm sorry. Does it seem louder? Oh, you're joking. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Here, I turned my mic down. I did get a little excited there, so... Sorry about that. Yeah, so my plan, Nerdy, I have that book to get the camera, and I'm gonna have a chat redeem for people to sign their name on it, and then subs can do like a quote or something that they want to put in there. And then when it's filled or when I hit a milestone, I'm going to do it as a giveaway kind of deal. So then y'all have a chance to have like the fairy court, you know, things like whatever, you know. You have something of fairy court and everybody that's in it. Alright, Princess, have a good night. Thanks for like chatting, even though I know you're sick, you're hurting, sorry. No, you're not, Nerdy. I don't think you've ever been like mean or anything. thanks, Panda. I appreciate it. Yeah, if y'all know anybody that's, into books and stuff, I could hook them up. What are books? That is exactly. Yeah, those are things with pages. Yes. That is what this channel is mostly about. Unless you do a digital, then it's not really pages, but a screen. Get some candy. I have to get a new bag of candy because all I have left is Snickers. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, see, I've never heard it called that. I just always heard it called a collection of whatever, They read books or read Kindles. I mean, okay, there is a thing in the book community, honestly, about people that. Yes, okay, so there is a thing in the book community that people kind of like make fun of people that have books just for decoration. Like, a lot of people in the book community don't understand that. And then like there's like pictures of where like somebody decorated their like bookshelves or whatever with books, but it doesn't have the spine of the book sitting out. It's like the page side, so you can't see what it is. And that drives everybody crazy in the book community too. You have books for decoration? Wait. Is this the same books? Hey, thanks for the follow. Blood Moon, how are you? Are you a streamer? Oh yeah, I always forget about those. Nerdy, I can't even remember. Do you stream? I think Dub was here. I forgot to do Dub. Oh, Panda, is this your friend? Do you want to... Wait, he's calling you Wolfie. Do you prefer Wolfie or Blood Moon? Here you go. Either's fine. Perfect. Wait, why didn't it work? Give me 1 second. See if this... There you go. There you go. Thanks for the follow. So I appreciate you being here. Yeah, Panda has been here for a minute now, I think. So he's great. He likes to feed me candy, but he's mad because I put a cooldown on it. So there you go. Yeah. I forgot that I had that command. I need to add more commands. I want to add like the I hug one and some other one. I don't know. So, Blood Wolf, are you a book person? Oh, Sangi, your bookshelf. I mean, your bookshelves. Sangi! Oh my goodness, Sangi. Thanks for the gifted sub. I can't even talk. Sangi, you have given a lot of gifted subs today, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. You do like books. What kind of books do you like? Yeah, okay, so like that last one, I I wasn't gonna say anything, but that last one just now, I was kind of surprised about because I know like you said you had one more and then you gifted it to Princess, I thought. But I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And it's very helpful and whatnot, you know. But Sangi, your bookshelves are not just also books. Your bookshelves are kind of like an alcohol shelf, so you don't follow your own rules. I really like fantasy too. I do read a lot of fantasy. I do read horror though too. I do horror and I do psychological thrillers too. 50%. Wait, is that just the bourbon or do you have like other stuff? Or is it like that's it, that's all it is? But yeah. I think when he says the RPG, I think so. I think that's what lit RPG is. Wait, do you have? Wait. You're working on one, aren't you? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I will be honest, I have a cabinet full of alcohol, but my problem is that I've only tried them once and I didn't like them, so now they sit in my cabinet. Yeah, I thought I seen you put a post or something that you were looking into it or you were working on one or something like that. I have not read any of those. So I don't even know if that's something I would be into. I've never heard of that. What is that book about? If you're interested, no pressure though. I do have a Discord and you could join the Discord. We talk books in there. I have a book club in there. We just had our first book club this past Tuesday. So the next one won't be until March. Sangi's read that. You know, I am shocked, Sangi. Like, there is like, didn't you tell me there's not a whole lot of books that you have or whatever? What the freak am I hearing? Sorry. I keep on hearing some kind of like... Okay, it sounds like a moaning sound. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's cool. Really, Sengi? I did not know that. Yeah, I do a lot of audiobooks too. I do like when I'm cleaning and stuff. See, I haven't read it. Okay, so I did a review for this one author. He messaged me randomly one day and he was like, you know, I've been hearing about this new subgenre, and he said it was lit RPG. And he was like, what is your thoughts on it? And I had like no thoughts on it. And then like he didn't say anything else about it. So I haven't tried it yet though. Do y'all have some good ones that y'all recommend? I'll put it in my Goodreads. I should continue reading. know where Sunshine is. She was at the book club on Tuesday. I have that book, Sangi. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I have Ready Player One and I have the second one. I just haven't read it yet. But I do have those. I almost got rid of them, but then I was like, nah. I've heard a lot of good things, so I'll try it. Maybe. Let me see if she's... Okay, I think she's modding a couple other streams because it looks like she's on them. Because she mods like 33 streams or whatever. The Awaken Online series? I don't know what that is. Wait, I didn't know that was like a movie. I had no idea. Alright, I'm going. Well, Panda, I don't think you've seen my clip. When everybody was looking for Seth, I made a clip of that. Oh my goodness. Here, maybe I should send her a message. Be like, everybody's looking for you. No, she's not like Beetlejuice. Eden's Gate. Wait, that sounds familiar. I gotta look that up. Eden's Gate. Book. Okay, these covers do not look familiar at all though. It sounds familiar though. Caught up in a bad world. Yeah. Ascend Online? I don't think I've heard of that one. Ascend Online. Wait, do y'all like... Is Wheel of Time? That's not a lit RPG. No, right? I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen this Ascend Online. So is the new Jumanji, the newer one, is that a lit RPG? I don't think she's coming. I don't think she's coming, unfortunately. It's not? Okay. Because I'm reading that in my sub channel. I did it last week because... Oh yeah, because I was busy and stuff. Oh my gosh! Dude, I don't... Yeah, I don't think she's coming. I think, like I said, I think she's modding. Yeah. She's definitely modding. Okay, I'm gonna continue reading. And then we'll talk in a little bit. Who was talking here? By the time humans were able to write their beliefs down, I had been framed as their Satan. I read that. Apparently, Odin and his brothers have been busy as well. My satanic duties were quite simple, just existing as an unknowable tale of distrust and keeping a low profile. So went to Jotunheim and became Loki once again. What better way to gain power than to absorb energy from two religions, right? Odin and the other gods were pacing the floor and glaring between Loki and Forseti, unsure which to aim their wrath at for being unable to intervene. It was fun until God sent his kid to mess things up. That's when I found myself taking a more active role to prevent becoming obscure. When Balder died and I went into hiding, I was in the great desert with God's kid. It was becoming too much to do both, and being chained to a huge fucking boulder with the entrails of my child while a snake dripped venom on me didn't give me a reason to stick with this group. Oh my gosh, Panda. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. I'm going to like clip all of this and then I'm going to like send it to her. Oh my goodness. When Odin appeared with a peace offering, I saw my opportunity. I manipulated him into the plan, which I used as an opportunity to weaken this pantheon and spread the Christian religion, securing my place. Then something happened? Morgan asked. The more the kid Joshua talked about Satan and how much of a danger I was. Wait. Who's Joshua? You're fine, Panda. You're not the only one, apparently. So. I don't know who Joshua is, by the way. I think I'm missing something. Really? But shouldn't it be Jesus so that people know? I didn't know, like... I did not know that. Interesting. Where did Jesus come from then? You may be the only dirty-minded panda, but you're not the only dirty-minded person. Huh. I did not know any of that. Did you do like research on like the Christianity and the Norse stuff? You're a panda, okay? I could get behind that. Oh, you know what? I have seen that. You're right, Sangi. I have seen that. Okay. I should get some panda emotes for you, Panda. I mean, you're not wrong. Researching is kind of boring. I hated doing that for papers and stuff. I was also the one. I was also the one that would like totally like wait till the night before to even try to write a paper. I can. The pangolin, I don't know how. Hold on. I have to look that up. Cause what does it look like? Dude, that looks like an armadillo. Are you wanting an armadillo like emotes? Is it really like a you know what? I see it. I see it. I could try for the pangolin. I'll have to see if my author can do that. Actually, I think Etsy has panda ones for sure. That I know I could get. I tried looking for like book emotes on Etsy, and apparently there's like none. Yeah, there's tons of panda ones, so we're good on the panda. I got panda covered. You know how to do that, Sangi? See, I can't do any of that. I have to have it all made. Dude, there's a muscle, like a beef, like muscle man panda emote here. Apparently it's animated too. Wait. It would have to be red? What do you mean by red? Like the emote would have to be red? Is sanguine... Wait, is sanguine like a color? Because I was unaware of that. Oh, I did not know that. So you want a bloody pangolin? I'm like... Hold on, I'm looking up pictures of what that could look like. I don't see anything. There's nothing on here. Aw, there's a little cutie. Sorry. Okay, sidetracked. But, so the panda emotes I could definitely get. Raph! Thanks! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Thanks, Raph! Thanks for the sub! I didn't even know you were in here! Oh my goodness! I do have a tendency to giggle a lot. I think one day I was like giggling a lot and Spoons was like, he was in here and he was like, I like your giggle. Oh my goodness. Oh, so you heard about the Satan part? Apparently Loki turned into Satan, so... Oh, let me give you a shout out. Oh my gosh, Raph! Thanks! Oh my goodness, that's 5,000! Thanks for the biddies! I'm trying to do a shout out for you. Wait, is that for real? Oh my goodness. Oh, is he? Oh my goodness. I mean, okay, with how much I accidentally do stuff, like, that would be something I would do. So he is a streamer. Actually, let's do this for... I mean, I do some crazy stuff, so... Let's do, like, there we go. Guys, Raph is amazing. I've been on his streams quite a bit lately, for sure. And he's very interesting. Okay, I'll be honest, Raph, I really liked when you did your interviews. I know that you didn't like the model and stuff like that, but he also did this other game that I really liked. I can't remember. Please forgive me. My memory sucks and I can't remember what the name, what the game was. So. Are you really? See, Remnant, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he does do the karaoke. I was there for that. I made you sing, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Yeah. I'm not sure if it was Remnant. Like, we all had, you had your viewers playing it and stuff. I'm wanting to do interviews. That's one of my goals, to eventually do interviews on stream. That's something I've been wanting to do since before since before I was actually streaming. So Did you really? I had no idea. See, I liked that. I don't know. I thought other people did too. But I could be wrong. I'm usually the odd one out, so maybe, yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm gonna continue. We talked about Joshua. Did I finish this? Yes. I don't know what that is. The Forgotten God is a Norse mythology. We're actually on the last chapter, so we're finishing it today. Wait a second. You know, I tried playing that game, EverQuest. I tried that, but I didn't stick with it. I did. I only played it like once though. So I have a tendency with games, I don't stick with them. And so that's why I don't do a whole lot of games. But I did try it. But anyways, yeah, so this is the Forgotten God. Basically, like, the main god that we're talking about is Forseti, and he was forgotten like years ago. All the Norse mythology gods except for 2 of them was forgotten, and Forseti got reawoken because of a girl making a video, kind of like a short for like Cooler. Well, it's called Cooler in the book, but it's like TikTok. And so people started like making videos and talking about Forseti, which got him reawoken and gave him power and energy and stuff. And then a girl got murdered while making one of these videos, and she woke up with she woke up in the god realm. So she's the only human in this god realm. Okay, so you're not the only one to say that. Interesting. Okay, so I have moved several times in my life, and when I first moved here, apparently my accent was really like heavy. Very like it was like really bad, like so bad that like I was working at Walmart, and literally I had a customer drag his wife to come listen to me talk. So that was fun. I have been told my accent is not as bad now. So I mean, I'm from all over different places. Like I said, I've moved several times, so I don't have my normal. I don't have my No, not a military person. My mom just moved quite a bit, and then I moved, so and actually I'm about to move again. So yeah. Again, yes, again. Basically, that's a good description. American mutt. That, yep, pretty much. Sunshine. I'm telling you, Sunshine is like, she's kind of, I don't know. She hasn't even looked at my message, so. But I'm sure my accent probably will change when I move again, you know. All right. Loki looked bitterly at the audience. The Satan showed up, and he was a lot more aggressive than me. No longer a fallen angel that liked to play pranks. He had been made into a vengeful demon that only sought the destruction of men. I was out of a home again, and I fled. I had saved most of what I had hidden from our stories and began placing them to be found. I traveled the land and told our stories, pretended to be a law speaker, and wrote the history as if it had been told to me by others. Slowly, I was able to feel power flowing back into me as Loki became a recognized name again. I had time on my side and invested it wisely. Over the centuries, my companies influenced the stories that would be told, and eventually the Norse stories were told enough that the gods began to wake again. I have been working to strengthen the pantheon ever since. Forseti turned from Loki and looked towards the audience, and his eyes widened. The assembled gods were pressing against the barrier that they could not cross. The Valkyries were positioned in the rafters and by the exit with their spears ready, and Loki stared back at them defiantly. "That's right," Loki said to them. I tried to bury all of you all for my own gain, and when it blew up in my face, I came crawling back. But it's been me, no one else, that has gotten you back on your feet. I've been putting in the work, and I'm sorry for what I did. Things got out of hand, but you could blame me for being tired of getting the pointy end of the prod. You didn't bat an eye when I had to give birth to a horse that Odin then stole for his own transport, or when my other children were tortured or discarded for the power they may one day wield. Yeah, I was still the bad guy in their stories, but I was respected. Besides, I did what I was supposed to do. I stopped Ragnarok. The cycle is broken. I rest my case, Morgan said quietly. Then I will render judgment, Forseti said as he signaled the gods to be seated, which they did with wicked grins on their faces. They expected cruelty. They expected cruelty. They hadn't learned that the world had changed yet. It is my judgment that continuing the cycle of harsh treatment against Loki and his family that has led to our destruction for cycles unknown is unwise, especially in light of the new world we find ourselves in. Our life force isn't tied to worshippers anymore, but to scholars and enthusiasts. None are able to harness this energy the way Loki has proven himself to. Though he had been under the yoke of his own hatred in deciding what stories to tell. I hereby free you of that, Loki. I am sorry for the way we have all treated you in the past, and I hope that we can move forward to better our entire pantheon. It is my judgment that the giant Loki will continue his work on Earth, but that will work to tell all of our stories and reawaken any gods that still slumber. Through his efforts, he will become more powerful than we have ever been, and we could find our way without the threat of Ragnarok over us. Does this please the petitioner? Forseti looked expectantly to Morgan. It does, Morgan nodded. Does this please the All-Father? Forseti stood and turned towards Odin. He knew he needed his blessing for this to work. Forseti's judgment was binding, but without Odin's acknowledgement, there was nothing to keep the crowd from tearing Loki apart as soon as the barrier was removed. Odin stared at Loki for a long moment. Odin was no fool, though he was enraged as having been tricked. He glanced to Mimir, who raised an eyebrow, his version of a nod. He knew his answer would mean either an uneasy peace in the realms of the death of Loki. If Loki died, would any be able to carry on his work and keep them alive? Would they be able to stand against the other pantheons who were more well versed with today's communication and had true believers? It pleases me, Odin said simply. Whoops. On the charge of involuntary manslaughter in the case of Megan Mays, how does the jury find? We find the defendant not guilty, Your Honor. These were words that Megan didn't hear after that. She had collapsed into her seat and immediately began crying. The trial had been painful, having to relive that night every day while the media and prosecutors speculated on what she had been doing and why she had done it. Her defense had done a good job getting the jury to see her as a misguided and troubled young woman. one who had gotten caught up in the moment and lost track of the knife. It had been enough. At least one juror had decided she had suffered enough. Lori Lochlin emerged from the courthouse via the rear exit with the rest of the jurors, away from the press. She walked up to the man and woman waiting at a nearby car and got in the back seat. The car pulled around and across the street from the courthouse, where the man and woman stepped out of the vehicle, but this time with another man. "I was really not popular in that jury room," Logie mumbled. "But you got the job done. That's what matters," Logie said. They watched Megan emerge from the courthouse to a crowd of camera shutters and news reporters crowding her. Megan avoided the cameras, flanking by police officers that helped her to the car her parents waited in nearby. Megan looked across the street and locked eyes with the woman standing by the car, quietly watching. She hesitated. The tall redhead could have been a cardboard cutout of her friend. Probably an actress for the next TV movie getting into character. Morgan watched her friend get into the car and pull away. Tears came down her cheek as she saw Megan glance back towards them through the rear window. "Thank you, Loki," she whispered. "One more stop to go," Forsetti said. Ava was sitting in a coffee shop trying not to appear nervous. Her mother and father were with her, sipping their drinks and watching the door anxiously. The agent had called and requested a meeting. Instead of pulling Ava from school, they had agreed to meet in the shop that was near her father's university office. The tables were full of students working at their laptops on projects, and a few had nodded to Dr. Tillman when they had entered. A tall man walked in, accompanied by a shorter bearded man and a red-haired woman. They made their way to the Tillman's table and exchanged names and pleasantries. "Ava, we're excited to meet you," the tall man, Logan, said with a smile. "We received a draft of your book from one of our publisher partners that thought we may be interested." Ava had been working to publish a book on Norse mythology geared towards young adults. "We think exploring the Norse pantheon and making it engaging for a mass audience is a great opportunity. It has been popular with more adult Viking-style themes, but we think there's a lot of potential for a more family-friendly approach." You do?" Ava stuttered. "We do. We would be proud to help you publish your book and join our team as the youngest author we've ever worked with. What do you say?" "We would need to see the offer," Harrison Tillman intervened. "Of course. Here we are." Logan produced a pair of contracts. "While my associates here are experts on Norse and other Germanic religions, we would also like to extend an offer to you, Dr. Tillman, to serve as freelance historical consultant should Ava join us. We'd be happy to pay you a modest fee, of course." "What kind of sad scenes are there?" Well, I guess I shouldn't ask that. That's okay. I'm okay with sad scenes. I mean, Panda, you're going to be there, so you can always warn us when they're coming up. "See, Loki?" Morgan said as they walked back towards their car. "Doesn't it feel better to help people than trying to get over on them?" She sipped on her latte, enjoying the sensation and becoming determined to get an espresso machine into Asgard. "It's alright, I suppose." Loki pondered. We could have made them beg, or at least haggle a bit, instead of just giving them a generous contract. Not the point, Forseti pointed out. The goal is to get the stories out. They are much more motivated to put out a quality product now. Sequels, too. Can we go back and get a donut? I forgot. I can't gain weight here. Wait now. And regret not getting donuts. Morgan turned and headed back to the cafe. Forseti and Loki watched after her. You sure about all this? Loki asked. Nope, Forseti responded, but I think we'll have a better shot at it working together. And that's